270 lives were shattered, and thousands of victims' loved ones from 21 nations were left to pick up the pieces. Finally, for the first time in 34 years, I was hopeful that we could have one of the perpetrators come to a U.S. courtroom and hold them accountable. It was the first time that I was hopeful. This is a significant milestone for me, my families, and all the families of those killed.
Within the last hour, Victoria Comic, who lost her husband, John, 34 years ago in the Pan Am Flight 103 attack, speaking today about the suspected Lockerbie bomb maker in U.S. custody who's going to appear in federal court later this afternoon. Victoria Comic now joins me. She is the founder and CEO of the Pan Am 103 Lockerbie Legacy Foundation. Victoria, thanks for being with us. I can only imagine the conflicting emotions to relive this again, but you do all the time, and most notably in December, approaching December 21st and the anniversary. But start by telling us how you're really feeling today after so many decades waiting for the U.S. government to do something, and now having this man about to appear in court.
Well, Andrea, this is really the first time in 34 years that I, along with all the other American victims' family members, feel a sense of hope that this first step made by the U.S. Department of Justice in 34 years to hold any suspect accountable in the U.S. courts is actually going to happen. You know, U.S. federal courts have jurisdiction to prosecute crimes aboard U.S. flagged aircrafts, regardless of the location. And multiple jurisdictions do try criminals under the applicable national laws. But aside from issuing the 1991 criminal indictments against two Libyans, al-Megrahi and Fima, and then the 2020 criminal charges against Massoud, U.S. authorities have never arrested or prosecuted any suspects in 34 years. And to the victims' families, this felt like a betrayal by our authorities, by U.S. authorities, to the thousands that regularly pledge allegiance to America and its flag. So today's arraignment of Massoud in Pretty Men Courthouse in Washington, D.C., is a significant milestone to begin to address this 3-decade-long miscarriage of justice. So it's the victims' families' fervent wish for the U.S. criminal trial proceedings to begin immediately, because we all know justice delayed is justice denied. The victims' family members are keenly aware that after 34 years, informants and witnesses die, memories fade, and evidence can deteriorate or disappear. So on behalf of my family and also the Pan Am 103 Lockerbie family members, we want to express our gratitude to President Biden, a Syracuse University alumnus, that, there were 35 Syracuse University students that were killed on the flight. We also want to express our gratitude to the U.S. authorities for today putting into action putting actions behind their 34 years of pledges, because the time for justice for Pan Am 103 is now.
Victoria, do you know anything about the circumstances? There were some reports that he had been taken by a militia, gotten out of jail, that he was released from jail maybe a month ago. And do you know anything about the circumstances under which the U.S. government got him back?
I really don't. We rely on the victims notification process through the Department of Justice website, and they did not give us any details. Immediately yesterday, when I received the email from the Department of Justice, I called them, and finally, when somebody was there to pick up the phone, the only thing that they had mentioned in the morning was that Massoud was en route to D.C., that the plane was scheduled to land within the next hour, and that he was now in U.S. custody and would be probably arraigned today, which we know will happen at 1 p.m.
Well, now they've actually delayed that a couple of hours, so we will continue to cover this. But Victoria, how important is it to get some sort of a verdict in this case? Because We all know, I mean, he's entitled to all the rights under the U.S. system, and we actually have no way of knowing so far the conditions under which he made this supposed confession 2 years ago.
Well, we as Americans and family members can only hope that justice, the whole judicial proceeding will be held and justice will prevail. I don't know if they're going to let this statement become admissible into court, but for us, it's so important that any of the perpetrators that killed our loved ones stand trial in the U.S. justice system. You know, when Fhimma and al-Megrahi were brought to trial, they were brought to trial under Scottish court under Scottish law.
One of the alleged co-conspirators, right?
That's right, and their laws are very, very different. They're different on the admissibility of evidence, on the admissibility of witnesses. So it's very different than the U.S. court system. We also know that the Scots don't have life imprisonment without parole. And although al-Megrahi was given a life sentence in UK means 20 years. So it doesn't matter if you've killed one person or 270 people, you get a life sentence of 20 years. They certainly don't have the death penalty. And furthermore, the ability to get released under compassionate grounds, which al-Megrahi did get released after 8 years, doesn't exist here. So from my perspective, I don't think that what happened at The Hague and that whole trial was any step closer to finding out who was involved and bringing justice to the murdered victims.
I know that you and all the other families are hoping that this will be a very different situation in a U.S. court. Victoria Cummock, thank you for being with us today.